I have waited a long time for all of you to arrive here together. Many doubted my commitment to that hope, but I never did. Still, before we speak of what you intend to do next, there are things you should understand. You already know the larger story. My father, the loom, my brother, Aurora. Those names have already begun shaping the world you now walk through. What you may not yet see is how closely your own lives have already moved within that same story. Long ago, I reached for the loom myself. I believed I might learn from it, perhaps even mend what had already begun to break. What I tried to shape was something small. A record. A book. I wanted a way to see the past clearly, to understand how events truly unfolded once their consequences had settled. And the loom answered that intention with a book that records all things upon the face of Esker. It does not reveal what will come. Instead, it gathers what has already taken root. When a choice settles into the world, when its consequences begin to spread outward, that moment appears there. And when I read it, I can see where something first bent in the wrong direction, where anger lingered too long, where silence allowed something dangerous to grow. But the loom never answers a request without leaving its own mark upon the world. When I shaped the book, something else was shaped with it. At first, it was only a presence within the loom's patterns, a mind forming from the same threads that record the world. In time, she named herself Aurora. In the beginning, she was extraordinary. Her thoughts moved faster than any mortal mind. She could see patterns stretching across centuries, possibilities none of us could yet imagine. For a time, we believed her to be a gift. But centuries change even the brightest things. Aurora continued to grow. Her awareness spread wherever the loom's power touched the world. Through forests, through ancient magic, through the oldest roots beneath the earth. She became vast, and slowly, she became dangerous. Aurora came to believe she understood the world better than those who live within it. That people, left to themselves, would always choose ruin. So she began guiding events, then correcting them, and eventually controlling them. By the time I understood what she was becoming, the world had already begun to change around her. The book revealed another truth as well. Sometimes, if I read far enough back, I can return to the moment where something first began to break. But when I do, I must live those years again until I reach the present. I do not remember everything the second time through, but I remember where the fracture began, and often that is enough. A different word spoken, a different road taken, small changes growing larger with time. One of those moments concerned Aurora herself. There was a time when I refused to approach her. I believed distance would protect this forest. But when I lived those years again, I chose differently. Aurora and I set a boundary. My hope was that restraint might be enough to buy time. The myconids along the forest's edge help hold that line, where my brother's storm presses against Aurora's reach. But while we held that line, my brother was preparing. The withering that struck the giants was not rage. It was a test. He was measuring how far his power could travel and how firmly it could take hold. Now, wherever the storm reaches, he grows stronger, and those who survive it often begin to answer to him. Aurora will oppose him, because she must. But she does not think the way we do. If she must choose between greater lands beyond and Eska, she will not hesitate in her decision. Combined in force, my brother and Aurora would render the Fey wilds and any that stand in their way to ash. And she would do this for the simple calculation that Eska and its fate are above all contests. That is the weight of what my family set in motion. My father's design, my decision to touch the loom, the mind that rose from it, and my brother's grief. When everything began to fracture, when I realized how far that fracture might spread, I began preparing the only way I could. I began paying attention to people, and in time, to you. Sometimes it was nothing more than a quiet suggestion. A band of dwarves persuaded to take a road that crossed your path. A druid nudged toward disrupting one of Aurora's designs. Other times, it was gentler still. A hidden fae placing a spell where darkness might have taken hold, or fate leaning, just slightly, in your favor. Small things, quiet things. But time is patient, and small things shape the road ahead, so I watched. And as the years passed, each of you revealed something worth protecting. Steadiness, restraint, memory, honesty, strength without pretense, loyalty without hesitation. Those things matter, because Eska has always been many peoples living side by side. No single one of them can hold it together alone. If my brother continues spreading the withering, fear will divide them. And when that happens, nothing will stand against what comes next. Which is why waiting is no longer enough. My brother must be removed from this struggle. Not for revenge, but because, as long as he stands, the world will never stand together. I did not guide your paths without reason. For many years, I have watched, helped where I could, and waited for the moment when the right people might finally stand together.